Hi guys, it's Dillon from Food Thinking again. And today what we're gonna do is we're gonna do steamed mussels with chorizo and beer. How exciting is that? So, and it's also super quick. It takes 5 minutes cooking time, maybe 7. So the first thing that I did is that I rinsed off my mussels. They usually come in bags if you're buying them at the store, and you want to check to see if any are cracked or open, and if they are, you want to throw them away. Fortunately, in my bag today, they are all pristine, so I don't have one of those bad ones to show you, but that's what you're looking for. And if you're worried about anything, like if you're worried that one of them isn't good, then toss it. It's not worth the risk at all. Some of the mussels will come with beards on them, and what a beard looks like is this. And what you want to do is you just want to pull it right off. You're looking for, like, it feels like fur, it's on the outside. It's not gonna make you sick, it just doesn't taste very good. So you just want to debeard it by pulling it out of the mussel. It'll snap off in your hand. You just want the edges to be clean. Do another one. So you want to pull down towards the base. So now we're going to take all of our mussels and we're going to put them in a bowl of cold water and let them soak for 20 minutes. This is important because it'll flush out any like extra sand or dirt that's still in there. You're probably not going to get a lot, but it's worth doing. And it helps plump them up and make them moist and happy. Or just cold water from the tap's fine. So you're gonna see bubbles every once in a while. We're gonna try to catch one for you guys if we happen to be in the area of them just breathing their water. You might catch a couple bubbles here and there. That's fine, that's totally normal. So this mussel dish starts out the way that all classic mussel dishes do. Every mussel dish starts out essentially with 2 tablespoons of butter and 2 tablespoons of olive oil melted. And to that we're gonna add about 3 tablespoons or 1 large shallot. So we're going to mince it, and we're going to add half as much, a tablespoon and a half of minced garlic. The reason why you use shallots is because they're a little milder and a little sweeter in flavor. And you want the mussels are so sweet, but they're also kind of delicate that you don't want to overwhelm. You don't want to lose the taste of the mussel. All right, those guys ready to go. So now we're just gonna mince our garlic, and because we're not slicing it, we're not showing off with it, we don't need to make it pretty, I'm just gonna smash it out of its skin. Just pops right out, nice little technique to know. No agonizing peeling, and then we're just gonna get down to chopping. I want about 1.5 tablespoons. All right. Okay, so now that our shallots and our garlic are chopped up, we're just going to melt together 2 tablespoons of butter in a pan with 2 tablespoons of olive oil. We're going to bring that up, melt it down rather, and then we're going to add our garlic and our shallots. You want it on a medium-high heat, and you're going to you want the butter to foam up, and then it's going to start to subside. Best smell in the world about to happen in my kitchen. You just want to cook those until they're soft. You don't want to brown them. They don't need to. You don't want to do them too much because they're there for flavor, not you don't want to give it that burnt flavor that you can sometimes get from garlic. Okay, so while your shallots and garlic are softening up in your butter and your olive oil, I'm just going to slice up 2 links of chorizo. This is a fully cooked chorizo, so it's not raw, even though it's cold. I'm using Neiman Ranches. They're a really great company out of California. And because they're fully cooked, all I'm really doing is heating them through. If you are using a chorizo that isn't cooked, you do need to cook your chorizo off ahead of time for this dish. Okay, so once it's all sliced up, like I said, it's already cooked. We're going to add it right to the garlic and the shallots and the butter. We're just going to stir it through, like I said, it's already cooked, so we don't have to worry about browning it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add one whole 12-ounce bottle of beer. And you want something that's a lager or an amber. You don't want something that's too dark because you don't want it to completely overwhelm the flavor of the mussels. So we're going to add it in. This one was room temperature because you want to bring it to a simmer before you add the mussels. So obviously, like, the warmer your beer, the less time it's going to take to get to a simmer. So all we're doing right now is we're just going to drain our mussels of the cold water that they've been soaking in for 20 minutes. And now that our beer and deliciousness, our beer and our shallots, our garlic and our chorizo are starting to simmer, we're going to add in the mussels. We're just going to cover them with a lid. We're covering them with this clear lid that doesn't fit the pot, just so that we could show you guys. And then you're just going to wait for them to steam open, which should take 5 to 7 minutes. If you're a pescatarian and you want to do this dish without the chorizo, all you have to do is leave it out. And if you still want some of that like smoky, smoky chorizo flavor, then I recommend using ancho chili powder, just a teaspoon in the water. It will give it some of that smoky pepper flavor. For the non-pork option. Also, at this point, if you wanted to do the classic, you would just do white wine, a half-cup white wine with a cup and a half of water instead of the beer. Okay, so the mussels have popped open. Like I said, it is super, super, super quick. And you're done. That's it. It's cooking. All we have to do now is plate it. So I like to serve this with a really nice crusty bread, and I actually kind of like it a day old because if the bread's a little dry, then it helps soak up some of that wonderful like juice and sauce that you just made with the beer and the mussels and the chorizo. You have the option with this dish of serving it family style, just like in one big bowl in the middle of the table, which is often what I do. But because we're getting a little fancy pants today, we're going to do an individual portion. I'm just going to lift out an individual portion with this hand strainer that I have, which is like my favorite kitchen tool ever, seriously. And put it in a bowl. The great thing about mussels here in New York, at least, is that they're local, they're plentiful, and they're not very expensive. Then I'm just going to take a ladle, and I'm going to lift out some of this lovely liquid and pour it, right over. Get some of that chorizo in there. So you're just going to put I just put the bread right in there, let it start soaking up. We're just going to sprinkle it with a little cilantro, because cilantro makes everything better, people. And pretty, look at that green. Against the black of the shells, nice. And then you can either squeeze it over for your guests, or you can let your guests do it themselves. All right, steamed mussels, chorizo, and beer. So now that our steamed mussels with chorizo and beer are ready to go, here comes the best part for me. I'm just squeezing my lemon over. Yum. Seafood and lemon, really? Open up my little shell, take out one of my mussels, I'm gonna dip it right in that juice. The chorizo gives it a little spice and a little heat, and the beer rounds it out with a surprisingly like clean flavor. The beer really complements the juices that the mussels let loose. And in fact, what you can do with the leftover juice that you're gonna have, assuming you have any, because some people like to sop it all up with their bread, is use it as a fish stock. Hey guys, Jennifer Dillon from Food Thinking, and I'll see you guys next time.